Okay, so got a video here by Gary recently, or a little while back, where he talks about the a narrowing vertex being the reason that things disappear from the bottom up. So let's take a look at this. Have a level line of sight, which I believe even Gary agrees with me that objects above that line of sight won't drop below it, and objects below it won't rise above it. So there's no reason here that the top would drop below and the bottom would disappear, because this is a pretty much equal vertex to the top and the bottom. Let's say each story here is 10 feet. Now, it can't be a shallower angle to the surface because, yeah, the center lines on a road will all converge together to a vanishing point, if you will, as the distance increases and the angle to them becomes shallower. But the thing is that we're talking about vertical height, the side of a ship or a building, not the surface of a road. So if you ever come up with a diagram, Gary, that shows how this straight surface interferes with this line of sight, we'd love to see it. So let's take a look at this here. We have, you talk about the top. As you move away, the top stories increase in size. So why didn't you show these three same angles going to the bottom as the observer moves away from up close to farther away? Why didn't you include the bottom with this? So we'd love to see how the top, appears larger than the bottom, because you're not really showing it here. Now on this one, work. Okay. So I gotta wonder why you didn't include an equal amount for each view. There's no physical difference. There's no physical barrier between the top and the bottom angles here. So why didn't you just say the top two stories versus the bottom two stories, or the top three versus the bottom three, to show the difference in the your angle of field of view here, or the vertex? So let's take a look at why you probably didn't do that. Let's go with the top two stories. At an equal distance away for the angle to the top versus the bottom, as you can see that the vertex on this angle here to these top two stories is narrower than the bottom. Now, let's take a look at this here. Also, the top two stories are farther away than the bottom two stories. So right now, what you're showing us here with your diagram is that the top has a narrower vertex and is farther away than the bottom. Now, if we had split the whole thing in half evenly, the top three stories versus the bottom three stories, still, right here, you've got a narrower field of view, or vertex, than what the bottom has. And the top is farther away. So why doesn't the top vanish before the bottom, according to what you're saying, narrower vertex? So we'd love to know. Let us know. Thanks.